the time we be pubbing on the grind. If it's LJ from Houston, pulling up stats, you'll be pulling in stacks, hitting bookies from the back with no Vaseline. I need green and upsea quantities for a fiend, save the dreams for a king. This is H-Town, home of the lean. Astros is the team and we rock it. Texans for life, you can't stop it. Together like brothers and bets and jets.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, sports fans around the world? You are tuned in to RaWordz podcast presented by LJ from Houston. And we already know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to talk some football. Kicking off tomorrow night. Thursday night football is finally here. And of course, when I'm talking football, I got to have my guys on stream. You know, of course, Picks from Dave from NerdTalk. What's going on, my guy?
What's going on? It's here. Let's get ready.
Hey, I agree, sir. And of course, special guest today on RaWordz podcast, fellow EarleSportsBets, Nick. What's going on, guy?
Oh, what's going on? Yeah, we finally get NFL back, so should be good. I've already placed a few bets for this week, and I'll probably be adding more throughout the next couple of days. So definitely excited to get down to some action here.
Hey, man, I'm right there with you, sir. Fingers been itching all summer, man. Waiting for this NFL season kickoff because it's a lot of turnover, you know, a lot of moving pieces, you know, a lot of storylines to talk about. So, man, we're about to get action. And, of course, like I said, we're just going to give our picks. We're going to do this every week, you know, give our picks, you know, keep track of the records and everything like that going through the season. You know, it's fluid. You know what I'm saying? We may change our mind here and there. It just depends on what we see, you know, but we only can go off last year as far as initial start for the most part. So, let's get right to it, my guys. We are starting off tomorrow night, Thursday night football. We got the Detroit Lions visiting the Kansas City Chiefs. Hold on. I got banners, bro. That's the problem not having a producer. You know what I'm saying? You got to remember that shit. There we go. Detroit versus Kansas City. Kansas City's minus 4.5. The over-under is at 52. Now, we just got word that Travis Kelce has a knee injury, so I guess he's out of the game. Chiefs still haven't signed Chris Jones. They're missing their defensive lineman. So Patrick Mahomes is dealing with some pieces that might not be there. So, but I still think Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. Not overly concerned about this game, but I'm going to give my thoughts from my guys, and then I'm going to give my pick because I just want to see what they say, and we will go from there. So, Dave, let's start off with you, my guy. Who are we looking at? Detroit visiting Kansas City.
Before I index this game, my answer is Kansas City. They're going to win the game. I even think they cover. I didn't think that – I know the line's moving to the Lions. When I index this, and this might be – it's really hard to use an index in the beginning of the season because you're going off of assumptions and performance from last year and preseason and injuries and different things. But they're so high on the Kansas City that I might be taking them on the laying the points. Okay. But some answers, Kansas City. Another bet I'm taking automatically is the under primetime game. So I might have two bets in this game, but Kansas City is going to win the game.
Okay. Nick, what we got?
Yeah, I bet the total. I haven't bet the side in this game. If this line continues to drop more on the side, I'll grab some KC. Because I was leaning KC to begin with, but I'm on the under 54 in this game is what I bet. I also took the first half under 27. This line has moved a little bit. I don't know if I'd play it at a 52, but I know I remember last year primetime unders and totals over 50 were hitting unders pretty well. And I'm going to look to go back to that for this one. So I lean KC if I had to bet the side. I just think maybe this line's moved too much now, maybe. And then maybe a little bit of an overreaction to the Kelce news, maybe a little fade the injury report type of spot here. But I'm on the first half full game under here. Maybe if you're looking to back KC and you like the under as well, Detroit team total under. By the way, you mentioned him actually 9 hours ago. Chris Jones signed a 4-year, $80 million extension. So he will be – I don't know if he's playing in the game or not, but he did sign the extension.
There you go. Great news. Great news. Of course, I'm on Kansas City as well. Probably the most high-powered offense in the league. You know, they averaged 29 points a game last year. But Detroit was right there at 26, so they could put up points as well. But my issue is basically Detroit trying to stop Kansas City because the more points they put up, the more they give up as well. So they can give you 26, but they also can give up 26. So they're pretty even on both sides of the field. Far as rushing, they have the advantage. They average 128 yards on the ground, but Jamal Williams is gone. So I'm going to have to see the other dishes of the running back, see if they can keep up that consistency at the running back. But Kansas City averages 288 passing yards a game to Detroit's 251. So it's going to be the tale of who's going to have the better offense, who's going to stay on the field the longest, and who's going to have to make a stop at the end of the game, bottom line. We had this before when Jared Goff and Patrick Mahomes played in a shootout when Goff was with the Rams. I think they both put up like 50-something, So we've seen this matchup before as quarterbacks are concerned. So, hey, we may get a shootout, but we may get Kansas City just totally dominate the game. Detroit is out in their element, especially on the road. They usually average more points at home than they do on the road. Like I said, defense gave up 25 points last year, gave up 3 touchdowns a game. So if you're going to give Patrick Mahomes 3 touchdowns, I believe that's a safe bet that he's going to win that game. But I also have to see Kansas City be more balanced in the run game. They were bottom 5 in rush yards percentage last year. Patrick Mahomes threw 38 pass attempts a game. So he's slinging the ball a lot. So I wanted to see a little bit more consistency from the run game, for Kansas City. That's just something I'll be looking at. But as far as this game, man, Patrick Mahomes 5-0 in season openers, 18-3 versus the NFC, 8 straight season openers, longest active streak in the NFL. So I have no worries. Kansas City wins this game. And Nick, I take you're going to get Kansas City on the money line for sure, right? Kansas City's your pick?
Yeah, Kansas City wins the game.
Okay.
But this could easily be 28-24. So
I agree. No worries. I don't think Kansas City's going to cover, to be honest with you. They usually cover on the road. -6.5. That's there's 4.5 now, right?
4.5. Yeah.
I was going to say, if you like Detroit, you missed your line.
Yeah. I would have took the 6.5. Definitely, because Kansas City doesn't cover at home. That's just something they do not do. They're built on the road, in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on. We have Carolina versus Atlanta. Atlanta's -3.5. Over under is 39.5. My initial thoughts on this game: new quarterbacks for the most part. I mean, Ritter played last year, but I don't think he played a whole year. I think Mariota played some of that for Atlanta, I do believe. So he didn't play a whole season. Carolina has a rookie quarterback, so I don't expect anything from these two teams. But hey, let's start off with Nick. What you got? Carolina Falcons.
I don't care. This is such a bad matchup. Like I'm a high volume guy. I don't know if I'm betting this game. If I would, it's the under. But that's just about it. I mean, maybe under and you lean towards the dog, thinking this is an ugly, low-scoring BS game. Generally, rookie quarterbacks, especially I saw a trend, number 1 overall picks do not win or cover week 1 under the first starts or whatever. I have really no interest in this. If I had to bet the game, it's Carolina in the under, but I'm not betting it. All
righty. So Carolina is your pick for the win, though.
Yeah, Carolina would be my spread pick. I think I could easily see this being a 3-point Atlanta win, 2017, something along those lines.
Okay. Dave.
So what's your money line pick?
He said Atlanta wins the game, but
Atlanta
covers.
I'm on the same side. I actually don't even I'm not high on Bryce Young. Stop drafting short quarterbacks. This guy's not only short, he's 170 pounds, just soaking wet. Great football mind. So what? They're in trouble. Desmond Ritter's there. If he gets in trouble, Taylor Heineke is the backup. I didn't know that. He's very, very serviceable. Listen to this offense. This offense has some young. This offense is going to be great. This Falcons offense. I just look at their depth chart. I'm blown away. Bijan Robinson, that guy. Remember that guy? Drake London. I remember him. He went to USC, one of the best young wide receivers. And oh, by the way, Kyle Pitts at tight end. Heard of that guy? This team is going to be stacked. And going up against a Panthers team that's they're both horrible defenses, so it doesn't matter. Falcons are one of the worst. But if you're talking about a team that can score and they're at home and they're against one of the worst teams, I think, in the NFL, in Carolina, Falcons.
Falcons? All righty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to lean Falcons as well, simply because they're at home. They are, for the numbers I wrote down, they are slightly the better team because Carolina's worse first downs, worse in third downs, time of possession, but they're dealing with a different quarterback now. So we don't know what to expect from Bryce Young. far as the Falcons, they have Des Murray, like I mentioned, but they did rush for 159 yards last year game, so they were top 2 in rush percentage, though. They can run the ball, but this is going to be the tales of who's going to be able to score the most, because Carolina averaged 5 punts last year, and Atlanta gave up 15 points in the first half, so this game could go either way. And like I said, if I had to make a bet, I would bet the Falcons just because they're at home, but I'm not high on any 2 of these teams, so we can move on from there. Next up, we have Houston Texans going to Baltimore to take on these Ravens. Ravens are -10. I have over under 43.5. Now, initially with my team, the only thing that I'm going to be looking at is the D'Amico Ryans. I want to see how he improves this defense, because this defense was straight garbage last year. I'm telling you, every single category, they were at the bottom. They even averaged 5 punts a game. They only averaged 86 yards on the ground. Time of possession was only 28 minutes. Third downs, they only averaged 3 a game. First downs, they only averaged 16. So this was a horrible defensive and offensive team. But like I say, I'm not expecting that much from the offense. We got a rookie quarterback. A lot of these guys are young. I'm looking at the defense because the defense gave up 25 points last year. Now, I believe D'Amico could come in here, tweak some things, fix some things, and I think he can get that under a touchdown, which was 18 or 19 points. I'm looking for the Texans to improve on their defense so they can stop these teams for just demolishing them, giving up all these points. So I'm going to look for that initially. But for the game, of course, I don't have to wait. I'm going to take the Ravens, of course. They are the number 3 rushing team last year, 159 yards. The passing game was bottom 5, but Lamar Jackson has a new offensive coordinator. He says he wants to pass more. We'll see what they come up with to give him some schemes and more plays so he can be more of a pocket passer, I guess. That's what he wants to do, and not so much depend on the run. But like I said, they only average 3 punts a game. They have Justin Tucker. If they get stopped short of, on their side, on the other side of the field, he can get you a 40, 50-yard field goal easily. So they can put up points. Defense only allow 18 points a game, average 2 touchdowns. So they're not giving up a lot as well. So I'm looking for Baltimore to be a much, much improved team, playoff team as well. But for this game, I'm on the Ravens. Tim, what we got? Nick, I'm sorry, what we got?
I'm not going to lay the points at the Ravens. I think the Ravens win the game, but I think the Houston Texans cover the number here. I think that we can get some value here with the Houston Texans this year as big dogs. I think this is a team that has improved. Obviously, they're nowhere near a playoff contender. I'm not saying anything like that, but they're not going to be a 3-4 win team again. This team should win 6-7 games this year. I think that this is a Houston team that will be better this season. But, are they going to win this game? Probably not. Mm-hmm. Will I be taking the points? That's the only way I can look for this game is the Texans +10. Will I get to this game? I don't know. This is another game where I don't know if I'm going to feel forced to get to anything. If I would, I'm taking the points. I might end up with the play on the points on Sunday morning or whatever. Maybe if I get 10.5, 11, definitely. Mm-hmm. It's Houston or nothing on the spread, but Baltimore wins the game.
Got it. Dave, what we got?
Baltimore next.
Now, like I said, man, of course.
Spread or Baltimore just outright?
I think the spread's right. I think the spread's right where it should be, within a point. This game's unbettable to me. I could look at a total or a prop. For as a side, it's unbettable. But for the sake of pick 'em, for the sake of a survivor pool, if you want to get the obvious one out of the way, that's it.
Well, for a survivor pool, I would actually wait to use Baltimore later in the year.
They're different strategies.
I have another team in mind.
I have another team too, but I feel like a lot of people have that team.
My question is this: are the team totals up yet? They're not up yet, right?
Yes, they are. Yeah, they are.
What's Baltimore's team total?
Give me 2 seconds. I can get that for you.
Because that's what I'm going to be interested in for the Texans.
Yeah, the total is only a 43.5, so you're probably not going to get a terrible number on it. It is 27.5 at even money.
Ooh, 27.5. That's a lot of points, man. I think they can hold Baltimore under 27 points. I really, really, truly believe that. So I'm going to circle that 27 points. Yeah, that's going to be on my radar. I'm going to wait till game time, but that's going to be on my radar. Just a little small sprinkle on the
maybe if you wait long enough, you'll get a 28.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to see if it goes up because I'm going to take it hands down because I believe in D'Amico. I believe that when you come into, you have to be good at what you're good at, and he's good at defense, so he has to improve that first. So that's what I'm going to initially looking at with the Texans. All right, next game, gentlemen. Cincinnati -2.5 going to the Cleveland Browns over under 47. This is a division game, and we already know how we handle division games. Joe Burrow's hobbling, but I believe he will play. Deshaun Watson gets a full year training camp and everything, so we'll see some things from him. But initially, I'm not going to bet this game. I may bet the under because it's a division game, but I may stay off because I don't know what to expect with these two teams. Either one of these teams could win. Browns can run the ball. The Bengals can pass the ball. So it just depends on who's going to stop the other one from doing what they do best for the most part. Joe Burrow, like I said, 37 pass attempts is a little prop that I'm going to be interested in because I was cashing on that last year. Because they don't run the ball at all. They're bottom 5 in rushing yards percentage as well. So they depend on him to sling the ball a lot. So I'm going to be looking at that prop. The defense allowed 19 points under 20, which was good. And they only averaged 1 touchdown a game. So a lot of teams were kicking field goals on them. So we'll see if that defense still can stay pat. Let's see if the offensive line can protect Joe Burrow. And as far as Cleveland side, like I said, let's see what Deshaun Watson have. I don't know any expectations. I just have to see how he's going to respond having a full year and training camp with his team. But other than that, I'll just put my pick out. If I had the sake of purposes, I would just take the Bengals because I just believe they're the better team. They've been in the AFC Championship game 2 of the last 3 years. So that's just what I'm going to pick initially right now. But things could change. You see what I'm saying? As we see the teams. But right now, first week, Bengals is my pick. Nick, what we got?
It's my favorite play of the week. You can keep the points. Give me the Browns outright in this game. The divisional home dogs are something that I really like week 1. Those usually hit at a really high percentage. And this is a game I've had circled for a while. I think the Bengals take a step down this year. It's not really the Bengals taking a step down. It's their division is going to beat the crap out of each other. And you're asking them to win 12 games for their win total. I would take their win total under. And I wouldn't be surprised. You can make an argument for all 4 teams in the AFC North to either finish first or last, and it all makes sense, honestly. But Burrow's not going to be 100%. I like Watson in this offense. I really like Nick Chubb. He's, I think, one of the best running backs in football. He's somebody I've circled for the Offensive Player of the Year. I like the Browns for this division. I'm high on Cleveland this year, and it starts with game 1. Money line for me.
All right, buddy. Let's get it. Dave, what are we looking at for us this game?
Yeah, I mean, I have questions about the Browns. There's 2 questions. One is Deshaun Watson, and 2 is their defense. On paper, their defense is just dandy. But every year, that's what they say. They should be okay, but then they're atrocious. Last year, their secondary was bad. So the Bengals have a better defense. Some would say that the offenses might be equal because Cincinnati has, dudes and a dude at quarterback. And so I don't know. But here's what I'm leaning towards. I'm leaning towards Burrow getting hurt or playing hurt. I think he gets hurt again. This is Cleveland at home. Deshaun's first game. If there's any hope for them, they got to start off with a bang. So I have 4 games that I'm looking at maybe taking money line dogs, which I never do. I like so many games this first week, but I'm going to go. And by the way, the number's right here. It's about 2.5. That's the right number. But I'm going to go off of not the statistics and just my feel of what I'm smelling in the air, and I'm going to go with the Browns.
All righty. All right.
Also, one more thing is that Joe Burrow has never won in Cleveland, and Cleveland is 8-2 in their last 10 against the Bengals.
There you go.
I like that. Burrow's also 3-5 in his career on the road versus the division. So I like that. All right, man. Let's move on. Nice fluid going here. Next game up, gentlemen. We have Jacksonville -4.5 taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Let me get to my paper. Boom, right here. All right. Yes, Jacksonville versus the Indianapolis Colts. Colts, like I said, Jacksonville minus 4.5 over the under 45.5. And I'm definitely going to lean Jacksonville because I just think the quarterback is better. I like Richardson. I'm actually going to take a shot at Richardson being Offensive Player of the Year, but I'm not going to take him in this game. I'm definitely going to have to see him in the offense, see how he responds to NFL action. And the Colts were third worst in yards per play last year, under 4.5. Third downs, bottom 10. They only averaged like four third down conversions. So it was hard for them to move the ball. So I want to see how that changes. They only averaged 7 points in the first half. So defense gave up 25 points, which was bottom 5. So I want to see that change. So until I see that, I'm going to have to take Jacksonville, which was one of the top teams in total yards, 356 yards. Top teams in third down conversions, 5. Rushing yards, 125. Passing, 233. So they're very balanced, and they average 24 points a game. Now, I'm not going to say that they're going to win the division again this year. They may sneak in the playoffs barely, but I don't think they're going to win the division. I believe the team on the other side is going to win the division. I believe the Colts are going to get their defense straight. I think Richardson is going to play well, and I think the Colts will have a shot to win this division. I'm not betting it or anything, but that's just a strong feeling that I have. But like I said, Trevor Lawrence, 23 pass completions, averaging 13 points in the second half. So when they get down, they can adjust and come back. As we both know, that my dumb ass left a live stream when Jacksonville was down, and they came back and won the game. So, hey, my dumb ass left. So it shows me that they can adjust and come back in the second half and possibly win when they're down. They've proven it a couple times last year. I've seen it. So, hey, we'll see what happens. But other than that, as far as just straight up pick, money line, Jacksonville is my play. Dave, let's start off with you. What we got, Jacksonville Colts?
I would love nothing more than to bet the Colts against Diarrhea Brain Jr. Carson Wentz's Diarrhea Brain, Trevor Lawrence's Diarrhea Brain Jr. Here's the problem, man. Well, first of all, I'll say this. The total, the side, I think the spread's off. I think it's more of like a pick 'em. So I'm probably going to bet the Colts take the points. But how can you bet a team who has a rookie quarterback? And by the way, was the big question mark. I think he's the best in the bunch, but he's a question mark because he didn't play last year, right? Mm-hmm. And you have Jonathan Taylor, who was in this weird, the team didn't want him. They couldn't find a trade. Now he says he's hurt. Plus he's injury prone. Zach Moss is filling in. Not a bad guy, but been a second and third stringer. So we don't know. He's a question mark. Mm-hmm. Kylan Granson, a tight end. Is he a rookie? They don't have anyone. They have a good they have a good defensive front. Comparatively to the rest of the league. There's some hope there for them, and maybe Anthony Richardson's the dude. And I am going to take him with the points just because I'm not high on Jacksonville. I never have been. I was high on that game because I'm so low on the Chargers in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. But I say Jacksonville wins. I don't want them to. If I had a couple different guys on this depth chart, I would be saying the Colts would win, but I can't.
Yeah, I agree. I understand. Nick, what we got?
You can go ahead and keep them points once again. Colts outright in this game. I have a lot of dogs this week. I do have a lot of dogs. Week 1 dogs are generally trend really well, and then as you get later into the season, that's when you look at favorites a little bit more. For me, I don't think there's a team in the NFL more overrated than the Jacksonville Jaguars this year. And I think we're going to make a lot of money betting against them this season. And I like them to miss the playoffs. I like them not to win the division. I like them under the win total. There's a stretch in the season where they play, I think, 4 games where 2 of them are in London. They get no bye week. They get to travel back from London, play these Colts, and then play a Thursday night game.
Wow.
I don't know what Jacksonville did wrong, but they got fucked with their schedule. And this is a Jacksonville team I'm looking to bet against this year. I like AR-15. I think that he has a tremendous upside, and there's a reason they drafted him with a top 5 pick. Like this is a franchise quarterback going forward for them. I like the Colts here in this spot. I got him at plus 4.5. I got him at plus 193. So I'm going to go with another divisional home dog in this spot here. Colts outright.
Hey, I like it, man. I like it.
Whenever I take an underdog, I always sprinkle the money line. I mean, that's just something you got to do because if you're taking the points, you're not saying they're going to lose by 3 points here in this game. Like that I'm not saying they're going to lose 21-17. No, if I take the points, I think they have a chance to win outright. So, small bet on the money line as well.
All righty, man. I got it locked down. Boom. Colts, Nick. Awesome. All right, let's keep it moving. Tampa Bay Buccaneers going out to the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota is minus 5.5, under 45. Now, Tampa Bay, we all know, new quarterback Baker Mayfield. We already know he's one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. The Tampa Bay could not run the ball last year. Brady averaged 45 pass attempts a game. That is just insane. Now, we know that Baker Mayfield is not going to average 45 pass attempts a game. He might get 20 off at the most. I think that this offense is going to be very conservative, run a little here, dink and dunk a little there, but we can't trust Baker Mayfield with the ball at all. And like I just mentioned, they can't run the ball. They were number one worst in rushing the ball at 75 yards, which was worse. But Minnesota ain't no better because they was fourth worst at 95, and they had Dalvin Cook. So now he's gone. So I'm expecting that rushing attack to be worse because Kirk Cousins threw the ball a lot as well. 38 pass attempts a game, which probably will go to 40, to be honest with you. So I'm going to look at his prop as well, his pass attempts every game. I will have a radar on that. Justin Jefferson, leading receiver, 7.5 receptions, 103 yards last year. So he does have a weapon. Minnesota's defense allowed 25 points last year, which was third worst. So what I'm getting at is that I don't have any high hopes for these teams. I don't give a damn about this game, but I have to make a pick for the sake of my pick'em. So I will take Minnesota to win the game because they're at home and they have the better offense, in my opinion. But hey, things could change. Tampa Bay could go in there and win the game. Who knows? Because Kirk Cousins could turn the ball over, make some stupid mistakes, and they'll be right there in the game at the end. So, but far as picking purposes, I'm going to have to take Minnesota to win this game. Dave, what we got? Tampa Bay, Minnesota.
I'm intrigued by this game, not because I was before. Something didn't change my mind, but made me look at this a different way. 2 of the 3 indexes that I use pre-flop have Tampa Bay ranked higher than Minnesota. Blows me away. But then when you look at, obviously, Baker Mayfield is the one thing, and I do not like Baker Mayfield. You look at their other pieces, they're not that bad. And then you look at what Minnesota lost. They lost one of the best running backs and one of the best wide receivers in Thielen. So this team got worse. I can't remember, and I don't want to pull it up. I can research it, I guess, but I think they lost some defensive pieces too. Not enough to be, at worst, but they were, on paper last year, at least they were a great defense.
Yeah.
I can't bet Tampa Bay to win here, but 5.5 is first of all, I have them at 3.26 points, Minnesota. So I'm getting a couple points of value, but 5.5 points is a dog line. So I'm probably taking the points with Tampa Bay, or at least I'm thinking about it, but Minnesota wins. For a pick 'em, I have to say Minnesota wins at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nick.
You like that? I don't. Give me the points. And when we look at Minnesota, this was a team that was 11-0 in one-score games last season. Granted, I think their defense did get better. They have a better defensive coach now. They got Brian Flores in the offseason. I think they picked up a couple guys as well.
Yeah.
The more and more I look at this game, I think the better play in this game is the over. And if you like Tampa Bay, I think Tampa's team total over is not a bad look either. And we've seen Baker Mayfield be able to sling the ball around. I know he's not the most reliable quarterback to trust, but I feel like everybody's counting out this Buccaneers team. And I think that they are a dark horse in the NFC South the more I look at it here. I don't think they're going to be very good, but neither is anybody in that division. I think I'm going to land on the Buccaneers in this game, taking the points. Can they win this outright? I think so. I think there's a potential that they can win this game outright. Am I going to take the money line? If I bet the spread, probably a small bet on the money line. But I'll take the Buccaneers for this game.
All right. So you're picking the Bucs to win the game.
I will side with the Bucs to win this game. Sure.
All right. I like it.
Dogs are going to bark week 1.
All right. Now, it's interesting you say that the division, it's not competitive. Or what did you just say about this division?
It sucks.
It sucks. I agree.
Wins may win the division.
But we're moving on to this game, which is Tennessee going to New Orleans. New Orleans -3, over under is 41. Now, y'all already know how I feel about the Saints. They have a new quarterback in Derek Carr. He's back with his coach that originally drafted him in Oakland Raiders, wherever they were. They've added Jamal Williams at the running position, and they have Kamara as well. So they have a nice 2-punch in the backfield. They have a nice receiving core as well. Now, this is how I feel. I believe the Saints will win this division for the simple fact that Derek Carr has never had a top 10 defense. The Saints defense only allowed 20 points last year. Last 3 games, they only allowed 10. And they only give up 1 touchdown a game. So I believe that Derek Carr cannot turn the ball over, sustain this offense enough to where they could get 20-something points. I believe the defense is going to have his back and make stops for him. I believe that he's in a great position to be successful. He's not a bad quarterback. He just had bad luck with his defenses giving up points. And like people say, he has the most comeback wins in the NFL, and you wonder why. Because he's always playing from behind. I believe he's in a situation that he can keep a lead. You don't have to have a lot of pressure on him to always score every time he comes off the field because his defense can make stops. Now, on Tennessee side, they added D-Hop, which I like. I'm a D-Hop fan. They still got Derrick Henry. So I believe that they're going to just continue to do what they do. Run the ball, pound the ball, and make little short possessions, to move the ball. But total yards, they was 3rd worst last year. Under 300 yards, 296. First downs, number 1 worst. They only average 16 first downs. So until I see that change, I'm going to think that the Titans are going to be the same old team. They averaged 5 punts last year, so they can't really move the ball as well. And like I said, bottom 3 in passing. So Tannehill, I'm not high on him. So they're going to have to show me that they can be more balanced offensive-wise as far as passing and rushing, because I think they depend on the rush a lot. So if you stop that run, what else can they do? So initially, that's what I'm going to be looking at. But far as my pick in this game, I'm definitely taking the Saints, and I'm going to take the Saints -3. Nick, who we got?
Yeah, I'd lean towards the Saints here in this spot if I had to take a side in this game. This is one of them where I'm probably as lukewarm as possible on this game. Like, I have really no feel on this one. This is one of those games where it's just, if I had to bet anything in this game, it's probably the under 41 is where I'd lean in this game. I really have nothing for it, though. I mean, this is one of those games that I just didn't look too much into, just didn't have too much of a read on, and lean under if I had to on anything, but probably nothing on this game for me.
All right, Dave, what we got?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm gonna go with the Saints. I think the D-Hop addition's kind of strange. It actually makes them more of a typical old style NFL team. They've got a bell cow back, and now they have a deep threat. It's like the Michael. I'm not saying they're these guys, but like Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith type of deal. Definitely not Troy Aikman, a quarterback. But I think Tannehill and Derek Carr are mediocre quarterbacks. Now, granted, I know Carr hasn't been in good situations. I just don't see it when I watch him play. Tannehill definitely doesn't have it. He's just the placeholder. And so I don't know. But I'm going to say this. They're in New Orleans. I think New Orleans is a better team, definitely better defense. Mm-hmm. I'll take New Orleans.
Got it.
But the line's right. The line's about right, I think.
Yeah, I think the line's right as well, and I think they can cover that 3. I think they can win by a touchdown, just simply because.
So?
Yeah, I think they can win by a touchdown. I don't believe Tennessee. That, like I said, new pieces. I don't think they're going to New Orleans and just show them something differently that they've been doing. New Orleans plays well at home, and I'm going to continue to ride that tradition of them at home.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next game. Dave's going to like this one. 49ers. Going out to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
My 2 favorite teams.
Intriguing game. This is a very, very intriguing game. 49ers are -2.5. Over under is 41.5. Now, I'm going to let Dave start this one off. Since these are his 2 favorite teams, I'm going to let him fire off first. So, who we got, Dave? Who are you looking at? 49ers, Pittsburgh.
I'm not betting this game, first of all. Okay. It scares the hell out of me. I am gonna say the Niners win. Just because I think the Niners are, besides the Eagles, are the most complete team in the NFC, minus the quarterback. Take the quarterback out of it. they've got running stars, they've got receiving stars, they've got a great O-line, they've got a complete defense, they got a great coach. It's just a complete team. But they run up into a team that's known for defense, that's hard to beat at home, that plays hard at home, that has one of the most – Tomlin and Pete Carroll, the two most underrated coaches in the NFL, should both be Hall of Famers. And you're running up against it. You're running up a similar team. The problem is when it comes to it, I'm going to say that there is a coaching advantage on the offensive side of the ball. I know that's crazy because Tomlin's been around longer than Shanahan has. But in order to have the weapons to draw it up and do it, Najee Harris is great, and who's their fucking wide receiver? That's a rocket. I don't remember. And Pickett, and his hands are like Stickum. I'm not high on Pickett. I think that we're looking at nuances to this game, but I think the Niners squeak out a win, go to Pittsburgh and squeak out a win. I think it's a tough game though.
Okay, Nick, what we got?
Yeah, this feels like one of those ugly type of games. I know it's two teams that I can see in the playoffs this year. Pittsburgh, I think, takes a step up this year, and not much of a step up because Pittsburgh's just consistently been a winning team for how many years now? And the 49ers are one of the best teams in football. The only thing that I'm worried about the Niners this season is their schedule. They have to travel 8,000 miles or whatever it is, which is like the most miles we've seen a team have to travel in a season. So they really got screwed over on the schedule here. But for this game screams under so much. I think this game may squeak over. Yeah, I could easily see this be 23-20. Yeah. I could see some – I don't know what it is. I mean, I think we could see some points from Pittsburgh. I like Pickett a little bit. I think they got a decent run game with Harris. Pickens is a great receiver along with Deontay Johnson on that. And I really like Freiermuth at their tight end. I really like him as well. I think we see points in this game potentially. I think this is a game that feels so obviously under because both these teams have absolutely elite defenses that this game's going to squeak over for no reason. So I kind of lean over the total in this game if I had to bet it, and I kind of lean Pittsburgh. So I'll take Pittsburgh for the pick here.
Ooh, I like it. You know what, guys? This is a very, very intriguing game to me because the Steelers' defense is no joke. Just like the 49ers. But when you have TJ Watt on that defense, the Steelers are pretty much money, man. They just need to score. And I mentioned on a couple of shows earlier that we had that Pickens, the quarterback, he went undefeated after the bye week last year. He didn't lose a game. And the defense and the defense is top 10, only giving up 19 to 20 points. They only gave up 12 points the last 3 games of the season. Like the 49ers, top scoring defense as well, 17 allows 17 points, averaging 2 touchdowns, giving up top offense, top 5 rush offense. So this score could go over as well. I'm with you, Nick. 41.5, this could easily be 25 to 22, something like that, the squeak over. So I'm with you on that one. But to make my pick, guys, I think I'm going to take the Steelers to win this game. I really believe, like I said, it's going to be close. I'm not saying they're just going to dominate the 49ers, but I just think you could catch the 49ers early. They may just go on a long streak at the end of the season, get their mojo going, get their tweaks out. Shanahan can make adjustments because he's a great coach. But initially, first game in Pittsburgh, I think I'm going to go with the dog. This is my first dog that I'm going to pick, and I'm going to take the Steelers to win this game. Another key note last year, every team that played the 49ers, the next week they lost. So let's see if that stays consistent as well. But for the first game, I'm taking the Steelers to win this game.
And one more note on this game. For people who like to play these, the Pittsburgh Steelers are a beautiful teaser piece.
Yeah.
You get up through the 3, the 4, the 6, and the 7, up to an 8.5 for a teaser, and the total is below 49.5. So it checks all my boxes. The Steelers Browns could be a great teaser piece. Steelers Jets could be a good teaser piece. So for those who are interested in that.
I like it because the Steelers, like I said, all they have to do is move the ball. They had a great third down percentage last year. They was number 3. They averaged 6 third down conversions a game. They had 7 at home, which is number 1. So And they got a nice field goal kicker as well. He averaged 2.5 field goals made a game. So that's giving you 3. So they can put up points. They just got to take care of the ball and not turn it over. But that's kind of easier said than done versus the 49ers defense. But we'll see what happens on that. But very, very intriguing game. And like I said, that's my first dog that I'm going with. Now, shout out to Razor. I forgot to say that. Shout out to you, Razor. I see you watching, man. Hit the like button. Follow my guy, Razor Sharp Picks, horses, man. He's just killing it, man. It's just no words for what Razor be cashing on these horses, man. All right, man. We moving on. An Arizona tanking Cardinals going up against the new Washington Commanders. Have a new offensive coordinator, Bieniemy, and the Cardinals. They won't have Kyler Murray, and they were sucking with Kyler Murray. So this is my first Survivor team week. I'm going to take Washington as a Survivor pick, and I'm just going to pick on the Cardinals, man. They could easily win, 2 games? They could easily go winless, So every team that plays them this year, let's consider them in a Survivor, That's just going to be the number one idea that I go initially looking at every week. Who's Arizona playing? That's going to be one of my first things to look at. But as far as the Commanders, man, they're not too bad on offense. 330 total yards last year, 20 first downs, average 33 time of possession. So they help the ball. It's not like they're just getting off the field 3 and outs. They rush for 126 yards a game. But they did have average 5 punts. So they don't stay on the field consistently is what I'm trying to say. And I don't know any history about this quarterback, Sam Howell. I'm going to have to see how he works out. But Brian Robertson, their running back, is somebody that I'm going to be looking at because Washington runs the ball. And he had average 17 rush attempts last year. So let's see where that number is at this year. And that'll be something that I will be looking at. On the other side for us, the Cardinals, Kyler Murray, like I said, he averaged 40 pass attempts a game. So you lets me know that they can't run the ball at all as well. He's not playing. So I don't know what they're going to expect from them. They just may get blown out every single game. Now, for me to take a -7, I'm going to have to stay off of that one. I don't trust Washington to cover like that. I will have to see how they play. But far as initially win, this is going to be my first week Survivor team, the Washington Commanders. Nick, who you got for this game?
Yeah, this is the obvious Survivor pick.
Yeah.
Because you also got to keep in mind Washington's not going to be very good this year. And this is the best opportunity to get them out of the way. If you're a Survivor, if you're playing the Survivor and you can only use the team once, use Washington this week and all that. Am I laying 7 points on the Commanders? Fuck no. No, absolutely not. No. Especially with a total of 37.5. Like, you're expecting me to lay this huge of a number with a total of 37.5? If I had to bet the spread, I feel like there's a little value on Arizona. Am I going to put any hard-earned money on Arizona once again? No. This is probably the worst game of the slate. I will have no attention paid to this game, and I want nothing to do with this game. I will say the Commanders win the football game, and I'll move on. But this is a good Survivor pick.
Yeah.
If you trust the Commanders to win a football game. But other than that, that's all I would use this game for.
I agree. I'm not going to watch one snap of this game, but I'll probably will see the highlights just to see if I won my Survivor team. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I give a damn about this game. Dave, who we got?
Yeah, I won't waste any more time. I'm not betting this game. I don't care about this game. The spread's actually about right, but I'm not saying any more words. Washington for this contest next. Let's go.
Now, if you give me double digits with the Cardinals, I'll consider it.
You're not going to get it, though.
Yeah.
No, we're not. But if I got plus 10 with the Cardinals, I'd be on the Cardinals.
Yeah, I can see that, but it's probably going to stay where it's at.
Yeah. Even 8.5, maybe.
All right, gentlemen, moving on. Green Bay Packers taking on the Chicago Bears. Chicago is favorite -1. When's the last time that happened? Over under 42, but we already know the reason why they're favored. Aaron Rodgers is no longer with the Green Bay Packers. They're starting Jordan Love. Now, let's see what Jordan Love's had. I don't think he'll be able to put up 337 total yards like Aaron Rodgers did on the offense. I don't think he's going to average 19 first downs like Aaron Rodgers did. I don't think he's going to average 213 passing yards like Aaron Rodgers did. But hey, I could be wrong. He could show me a whole different thing, and he can go lights out. Who knows? He's probably been waiting for this opportunity, but hey, let's see if he can prove it. Green Bay only averaged 3 punts last year, but does that change with no Aaron Rodgers? It may go up to 4, maybe 5. Who knows? We'll see if Jordan Love can move the ball. But on Chicago's side, they were one of the worst teams in the NFL. First downs, worst team. They only averaged 16. They were tied for 5 teams, including the Rams, I believe. Passing yards for the Chicago Bears, 130, which was bottom 5. But rushing, 177 yards rushing, which was number 1 in the NFL. Now, we already know where most of those yards come from is their quarterback, Justin Fields, who was smashing his rushing prop last year. They couldn't put it high enough. This guy was rushing for 110, 120 yards a game sometimes. So I'm definitely going to stay on that. I don't know where they have it at now. I haven't looked at it, but that's probably going to be one of my props to go into this league because I know Justin Fields runs the ball. And if they have it at 50 or 60 or something like that, I'm smashing it because he can get that in his sleep. But like I said, defense allowed 3 touchdowns last year. Bottom offense, bottom points scored, bottom passing. Defense allowed 15 points in the first half, 27 points for the game. So that's going to have to improve. But initially, guys, I'm going to have to take Green Bay to win the game. I just think they're more experienced. I think, they're better coaching on the other side. And I think it's going to be close because it's a -1. So, but I just can't take Chicago to win this game because Green Bay, they're still a good, viable team. Not to say they're going to make the playoffs or anything like that without Aaron Rodgers, but I still believe defense can come up with some stops is what I'm basically trying to say to put pressure on Justin Fields because he can't just run the ball. He's going to have to pass the ball eventually. So Green Bay, they have a great pass defense as well. I think they're a top 5 as well. So if they're going to make him run the ball, I think they can pretty much contain him. But, hey, it may be close. Bears may squeak it out. But for my initial pick, I'm going to take Green Bay to win this game. Dave, who we got?
Wrong team's a favorite. The only thing that's good in the Bears is the quarterback. Mm-hmm. Green Bay's defense is better on paper than they actually perform. So that means, I guess, the sky's the limit. But they really like Jordan Love because you know who their backup quarterback is? I didn't even know this. Sean Clifford, that 5th or 6-year-old man from Penn State. Really? The guy, he's 25 years old. Yeah, he got like the extension for COVID, and he was a red shirt, and they picked him up in the 5th round. So essentially, they have no back. They have a crummy guy that barely made it in to the NFL backup, and they don't have a 3rd stringer. So they really believe in him. And oh, by the way, we forgot Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon are both there. The Bing Bank duo that might be a top 3 duo and top 4 duo in the league. Packers are still the Packers. Bears are still the Bears. The Packers aren't the Aaron Rodgers Packers, but I'll take the Aaron Rodgers less Packers versus any Bears team except for probably 1985. Packers. And this will be a play, and I'm betting this in my real life. Packers.
Got it. Nick, who are you looking at?
Already bet it as well. Aaron Rodgers is gone. The world's coming to an end for the Packers. Yeah, right. Give me the Packers here in this spot. You mentioned that Love is not going to put up the numbers Rodgers did. And guess what? He's not going to need to because, like Dave mentioned, they have 2 dominant running backs where they can pound the ball down the Bears' throat. And their defense, I think, is solid. Like, I think this is a really good defense. I think this under has some merit to it, too, as well. I think this could be a lower scoring game. 42 is a low number, but I wouldn't be surprised with a 23-17 Packers win in this game, something along those lines. I've already bet, though, Packers money line at -105. Keep in mind, this line opened up at 2.5. So this line has come down. So money has come in on the Packers, and the lines move that way. So, and I agree with that line movement there. So I'm on the Packers here in this spot. I got them at -105.
All righty. Like I said, man, the Packers should win the game. But I will be looking at also Aaron Jones. Y'all mentioned him. His rush plus receiving yards. He can catch the ball out the backfield.
Yep.
He's going to get a lot of usage. So look at that rush and receiving yards prop for Aaron Jones throughout the season. should be money. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on, man. We got the Miami Dolphins going out to the SoFi Stadium to take on these LA Chargers. Line is -3, over under 51.5. Now, for the Chargers, we already know they can't run the ball. Second worst in the league, only average 88 yards. But they can pass the ball because Justin Herbert averaged 268 yards per game, which is number 3 in the NFL. Third down conversion is solid as well. They average around 6.5 third down conversions. They average 7 at home, which was tied with number 1 with Washington that I mentioned earlier. Justin Herbert slings the ball 42 pass attempts a game, which I believe is going to stay the same. That's a prop that I kept cashing on every single week, and I'm going to continue to keep cashing on that as well because I believe he has to throw the ball for that offense to be successful. Keenan Allen is coming back. He had a lot of injuries last year with this receiver position. So if he gets some healthy bodies back, Justin Herbert can get those numbers up, and I do believe he will. They averaged 15 points in the first half, which was top 3 in the NFL, I believe, but they only average around 9 points in the second half, and that was the problem with the Chargers. Dave just mentioned in that Jacksonville game, playoff game, they had the lead going into halftime. They couldn't score in the second half. So they're going to have to show me if they can be consistent enough to put up points in the second half when they jump on these teams, because they'll jump on teams early, but they give up the lead. Now, for as Miami, they were worse than third down conversions last year, bottom 4, only averaging maybe 4 third down conversions. They also can't run the ball under 100 yards, 96, bottom 5 rush yards percentage. So both of these teams can't run the ball. Now, question mark for Tua. Can he stay healthy? That's the only question mark I have for Miami, because I believe if he stays healthy, Miami's a good offensive team. They got 2 of the fastest players in the league. You know, they got a nice tight end, and they got a serviceable running back that could go through the middle, and he can catch outside. So Tua is the major piece in Miami's success, in my opinion. Now, I don't believe they're going to make the playoffs. You know, I think Buffalo and the Jets are going to make the playoffs in that division. But can Miami win this game? Yeah, they can win this game. But I'm going to take the Chargers because I'm a believer in Justin Herbert. He's at home. And I think he may win by that number that's right there, -3. It could come down to a field goal. They win the game. So the Chargers is my play, but I wouldn't be surprised if Miami wins the game, to be honest with you. But for show purposes and pick purposes, I'm going to take the Chargers to win because they're at home. Nick, who we got? Miami and Chargers.
Yeah, Miami could win this game. Will they? No. I'm leaning towards the Chargers as well. I haven't bet this game yet, but this is one of those where I was looking at the way the markets moved. And I believe this is one of those games where most of the money is coming in on Miami, and they've turned this from a 2.5 to a 3, making it more appealing to bet them. That's just my lean at the moment. I don't know if I'm going to get involved with this game. I feel like this could be a sneaky under because I know we think both these teams as powerhouse offenses. And I could see this being one of those 27-24 type of games, and you squeak under the total there, or it could be something along the lines of 21-17, 24-27, something. I mean, I see this as a game where if the Chargers cover, it'll be by a couple points, if that. And I think this game could squeak under. I haven't moved on any of this, but for the pick 'em, I'll take the Chargers.
All right. Dave, who we got?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not high on Tua. Here's the deal. He had that one game against the Ravens where he had 28 points, whatever was in the fourth quarter. Everyone was on the Ravens that game. And they compared it to 600 yards, 4 touchdowns. They compared it to a very similar guy and performance, and it was Jared Goff. And that's about what I think of him. Tua will get hurt again. He will have another concussion. I actually do like the over in this because the Chargers defense sucks. So, but the Chargers offense is great. So you're going to have they're going to give up something to Miami. They're going to go get it back. They're going to give up to something to Miami. They're going to go get it back. I think it's an over personally. I'll take the Chargers for the pick 'em, but I fade the Chargers in the playoffs or in December. That's when I fade them. They can win games. They've got a good team. They just have this mojo. They lose, and I made half a bankroll on it last year. So there we go.
And the crazy thing with the Chargers is on paper, they have the ability to be a top 3 team in the NFL on paper.
Oh, yeah.
Like this is a team. If they didn't have Brandon Staley at head coach, if they had like a competent one, this is a team that you can pick to win the Super Bowl. Like,
if he didn't go for it on 4th down in his own territory every goddamn time. But I'll also say this about the running game too, and then I'll get off it. It's maybe the season stats they're not a running team, but every time I see Austin Eckler get the ball, I see him gaining like 6 or 8 yards. I don't know what it is.
He's one of the more underrated running backs in football.
He is. They don't use him enough, probably, is what I'm saying.
He's more of a short yardage guy, like in the red zone. They can get you some short yards, still get a first down, things like that. But he's not going to give you 3 consecutive runs to get you a first down. He's not that type of back, But like I said, we'll see what happens, man. The Chargers, like I said, like Nick just mentioned, they are a bet-on team. They could easily be one of the best teams, but the defense gives up points. And let's see if Khalil Mack will stay healthy this year, because he was injured as well last year as well. And they have Bosa brothers, right? He's on there too as well, right?
And Miami is without what's his face, Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah. There you go. So both of these teams are hobbling, but we'll see what happens. But like we both on the Chargers because they're at home, of course, and we don't believe in Tua. So move on. We have Philadelphia Eagles taking on the New England Patriots. The Eagles are -4 over under 45. And I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles to win this game. Total yards, they average 385, which is top 3. First downs, 23, which is top 2. Third down conversions, top 2 at 6. So offense, solid. Defense, only allow 19 points a game. They only average 3 punts. First half is where you bet the Eagles, averaging 18.5 points in the first half. Now, the reason why they lost the Super Bowl is because they can't score in the second half, which has been a problem for them. Under 10 points in the second half last year, it's not going to cut it. I want to see that improve. If the Eagles can score at least a touchdown and a field goal, maybe 2 in the second half, they will be a Super Bowl team again and go and win that, because they have to be more balanced that way. Now, rushing yards, 152, passing yards, 233. They're balanced, 29 points a game. So no issues there. But they have to be able to score in the second half, because when they get a lead, they'll jump on these teams, and then the teams will come back in the second half, and then the Eagles got to hold off for the win. I don't want to see that. I want to see them be the dominant team that they are in this NFC. Take care of business in the second half. Do not let these teams come back on you, because it's going to show your inconsistency like it did, and that's why you lost the Super Bowl, in my opinion, because they could not score in the second half. Now, New England. Don't have any high hopes on them. I'm not a believer in Mac Jones. But the defense is good. Always been there, under 19, 20 points a game. Belichick has always had that defense solid for the most part. But can he score points? He averaged 21 points on offense last year, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Mac Jones is going to have to show me that he could be a serviceable quarterback in this league. But for this game, I just think he's too overmatched. So I believe Philadelphia comes into New England and gets the win. I'm not going to take the points, because they could win by a field goal. But I'm going to take the money line. Philadelphia Eagles win. Nick, who we got?
I think 20 points wins this game. I like the Patriots. Because when I look at it, we have Bill Belichick with a full offseason, the game plan for this Philadelphia offensive attack. And I think defensively, they're going to be good this year. And I like the under in this game as well. But I took the 4 points. And I took the plus 165 money line as well with the New England Patriots here. I also I have to find the stat, and when Dave breaks it down, I'm going to try to find one stat here on teams that lost the Super Bowl. Their record in Week 1 is not very good. I have to find it, but probably by the time Dave is done talking, I'll be able to find the stat. But teams that lose the Super Bowl are a bet against on Week 1. And I'm going to look to do that here. I'll take the Patriots here. All right.
Dave, who we got?
Yeah, we talked about this game in another breakdown, and I can't remember. I might have taken the Eagles, but I'm flip-flopping, and here's why. There's every reason for the Eagles to do the same thing that they're going to do. There definitely is that runner-up in the Super Bowl not doing as well, for sure. But I'm going to say this. People are like, well, Mac Jones stinks. Bill Belichick's getting old. I'll tell you what, Bill Belichick, he's coached the most magnificent. That Super Bowl against the Rams was magnificent. He stopped an unstoppable offense that no one that could stop the Rams all year, and he did it. And he was very specific about doing it. And by the way, I have Philadelphia as just barely over a 1-point favorite on the index. So if you're looking for me to take a chance and to be the guy that's to be that guy and say it, Belichick. And by the way, they have an offensive coordinator this year. It's who the fuck is?
They have one offensive coordinator this year.
Yeah,
one.
They don't have a defensive coordinator because there's an assistant coach. So Joe Judge is the assistant coach, which kind of helps with the offense, and Bill Belichick's the defensive coordinator. Who is the he's of note? Dave. OC for Patriots. Bill O'Brien.
Yeah, you're right. Why we didn't know that? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So they only got better. I'm going to say this. Garoppolo got to a Super Bowl. Trent Dilfer got to a Super Bowl. There are teams with good defenses that can go places. I'm not saying that's the Patriots, but let's take a dog. Let's take a chance and go with the Patriots. I think it's a lot closer than people think, and I will be betting them +4. That's for damn sure.
Right.
And ready? I'm going to pull an LJ here. I've got a trend for you guys. I found the number. Since 2003, teams coming off a Super Bowl loss, 3-15-2 ATS in week number 1.
There we go.
All right, I'm writing that down.
Which last year, that was the Cincinnati Bengals, and they lost outright to the Steelers.
All right, man. That's a nice trend. And you know what? I may hedge because of that.
I know I can
Hey,
get
man, you know
LJ with a good old trend.
Bro. I don't block trends, bro. Trends are your friend. Believe me, I know. So yeah, I'm making a note of that. I'm gonna
Also,
hedge
Super Bowl winners are 16-4 straight up and 13-5-2 ATS since 2003, which would apply to the Chiefs.
City. All right, man. All right, we're locked in that game now. Let's go to a sucky game. Let's talk about these Rams going out to the Seattle Seahawks. This is a division game. Seattle's -5.5 over under 45.5. The Rams were awful last year, guys. 280 yards total yards, which was worse than NFL. Yards per play, only 4 yards per play, which was second worst in the NFL. Only averaged 17 first downs, which was second worst in the NFL. Rushing yards, 97, which was bottom 3 in the NFL. Passing yards, 182, which was bottom 10. So, we're safe to say the Rams sucked last year. Stafford was hurt, so we will give that note that, put things in context. Stafford was hurt. So, I don't have any expectations for the Rams. They're totally a different team from the Super Bowl team that they had. So, I don't know what to expect from them. As far as Seattle, Geno Smith played well last year. Led the league in completion percentage at 70%. He averaged 25 pass completions, which was second in the NFL. The defense allowed 25 points, so they gave up points. But for his offense, 350 yards total yards, 20 first downs, 119 rushing, 231 passing, averaging 24 points a game. So Geno Smith played consistent last year, man. And I'm basically saying he's probably going to do the same this year. They did time of possession was 28 minutes, so second worst. So they don't hold the ball long. They get off the field, and their defense is probably gassed most of the game. And Geno Smith didn't have to come down at the last minute and try to score to win. But other than that, all that said, bro, I'm not really interested in this game, to be honest. But for show purposes and pick purposes, I'm going to take Seattle because they're at home. I think they play well, and the Rams going to have to show me that they can improve from all these low numbers that I see from last year. So other than that, man, I don't have nothing else to say about this game. So like I said, I'm going to take Seattle to win. The spread is 5.5. I wouldn't take the spread, though. They could cover the game, probably win by 3 field goal. Who knows? It's a division game. I will lean the under as well because we already know historically with division games, they lean towards under. But, hey, I don't have any much on this game. Nick, who we got? Rams, Seattle.
Yeah, I've already bet it. And when we look at it, you can go ahead, throw those numbers, all of the Rams last year, just throw them away. Because Stafford was hurt, Kupp was hurt, all these players were hurt. Now, granted, Kupp is hurt again, but With that being said, here's another trend for you here. Divisional dogs, home or road since 2015, 31, 12, and 1 ATS. This is divisional dogs are bet on week 1 in the season. That's pretty plain and simple. I think you've probably figured that out with me here throughout this entire show with all the dogs I'm taking. And this is another one here. I've already bet the Rams at 5. I think it was 5. I think it went up to 5.5 today because they announced Cubs out. But I got also plus 205 for the money line as well.
All right.
In this spot here. And no, I'm not expecting all my dogs to win. If I hit 50%, I'm thrilled with these dogs because that's the beauty plus money. But I'm going to keep riding this divisional dog trend for week 1. I didn't index anything like Dave did this this week 1, because I want the data to build a little bit first. I did index with college, but not with pros, because I'm just following just trends for week 1, divisional dog trends, things along those lines, and the market as well. I'm trying to read the market and also read the trends, which divisional dogs and home dogs are where I'm going. This is not a home dog, but it's a divisional dog. I'll take the Rams here.
Was that ATS or straight up? 31, 12, and 1?
Straight up.
Okay.
Or no, ATS.
ATS.
31, 12,
Okay.
ATS.
All righty. Got it wrote down. Dave, who we got? Rams, Seahawks.
Yeah, you know what's funny about that divisional dog, the dog thing week 1? I didn't know any of those stats. And on my list, every single divisional dog is a point of interest or a bet already made, except for one, the one that Nick won't like. But I think Seattle wins. I think the Rams cover. This is too many points. I also think that, in all honesty, how much better can Seattle get versus how much better can the Rams be than last year? Yeah. Also, the Rams, I don't know the number, but they made me some money in some larger spread spots. What's up, Markel? Last year, especially when they were over a touchdown dog, for no good reason, when they were starting their third string quarterback. I forget the guy's name. I don't even know the team. What was that?
Wolford.
Yeah, Wolford. No, it was a guy after him.
Wolford got hurt. That's right.
Yeah, it was a third stringer. Anyways, they played Kansas City, and Kansas City didn't cover at home.
Yeah, they covered by a couple points that game. I remember it.
I don't think so.
They won that game by like 17. I'll look it up, but I know exactly.
I might have pushed it. I think we got different numbers. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It was closer than it should have been. But I'm on the Rams. And there's some really good rookies. The Seattle's got that running back Charbonnet from the UCLA, and then they got the wide receiver from Ohio State. I'm not going to even try to say his name, but his first name is Jackson Smith Dash, and in Jigba. Yeah. so if they get a quarterback in, their young quarterback, Geno Smith's a placeholder. They might be a thing, but I think the Seattle probably overachieved, or maybe they'll do the same this year. I definitely think the Rams do better just because Stafford's healthy, and you can't be any worse than your third string quarterback. So anyway, I'll take the Rams to cover the spread, but Seattle to win the game.
All righty. Got you locked in. All right, guys, moving on. The Dallas Cowboys taking on the New York Giants. This is also a divisional game. Dallas is -3, over under 46.5. Now, historically, Dallas plays well versus the Giants. Dak Prescott is 4-2 in his last 6 games on the road versus the division. 354 total yards last year, which was top 5. Third down conversions, which were 6, which was top 5 as well. Passing yards 233, rushing yards 131. Now, rushing yards may take a little hit because Zeke's gone now, and we don't know how healthy Pollard's going to be. He had an injury, so we'll see how that happens. But all that said, man, Dallas, they've been a top 5 rush team for the 3 out of the last 4 years. So I want to see how that changes with the shakeup in the backfield. Defense is solid, man. 19 points given up, average 2 touchdowns, average 14 points in the second half given up. So I believe that Dallas can stay in games. They play well at home. I like them, but against the Giants, man, I don't know, man. I'm looking for the Giants because I'm not saying the Giants suck. I just think there's been a lot of inconsistencies with Daniel Jones. I'm not saying he's a horrible quarterback. He's made a couple mistakes here and there. He fumbles tendencies a lot, but he's never had a number 1 receiver. If you get him a number 1 receiver, you may see something different in Daniel Jones. Now they still have Ezekiel Elliott. He's a powerhouse out the backfield. We already know receiving and rushing. So be looking at his props as well.
You mean Saquon, right?
Saquon, I'm sorry. Yeah, Saquon Barkley. I'm sorry. Rushing for 146 yards, you would know, which was money, but passing was bottom 10, 187 yards, passing yards a game. But I think that can change if you just get him consistent playmakers. They did get Darren Waller from the Raiders, so that's a little addition. But I need to see more with the Giants. They got to get some more receivers in that roster to help out Daniel Jones because he's not a horrible quarterback. He's just limited. You get what I'm saying? And his rush prop is pretty much money as well. I think he rushes for like 55 or some yards a game. So I'll be interested in looking at his rush prop as well. But other than that, to win this game, I'm going to have to take Dallas, just because it's the Cowboys. The defense is solid. They can probably get some turnovers at the end of the game and put Dallas in a position to win. The 3 is probably spot on. They may win by 3. I don't think they can win by a touchdown. Giants keep it close. But at the end of the day, I think Dallas pulls it off. Dave, who we got? Dallas.
I'm going to let Nick start. This is his team.
Okay.
So.
My bad. Nick.
Yeah, I got it at 3.5. I got the Giants at 3.5 for this game. And you said you're looking for the receivers to be better this year. I think they will take a step up. I love the addition of Darren Waller in that offense. What the heck? Where's that noise? Oh, okay. My MLB started making noise there. My bad. But yeah, no, I like the addition of Darren Waller for this team. I think a sneaky pickup is Paris Campbell. But one player I have circled that I want to see play this year was their 3rd round pick in this draft, 73rd overall, Jalen Hyatt from Tennessee. He is fast. He's making a lot of noise at training camp, and during the preseason, he made some noise. I think he has the potential to be a really good receiver in this league. And I think that he's going to help this offense as well. I like Vanilla Vic. I think that Daniel Jones is an above average quarterback. I know a lot of people give shit about him. Mm-hmm. We saw his game turn around, and we saw Josh Allen's take a little bit of a dip last year, and the common denominator was Brian Dable. I think this is a well-coached football team, the Giants, and I think that people think that last year was a fluke. I think last year was a sign of things that come for the Giants because I think Dable is one of the better coaches in football. I think this is a Giants team that's going to compete for the playoffs again this year. And the fact that their win total is 7.5, I think is hilarious. This was a team that was the best ATS team last year, 13-4 ATS last season. Mm-hmm. And they're being slept on again, I think. So I'll take the 3.5 here. I got and you got to shop around on your line on this one because some books have 3, some books have 3.5. Get your 3.5 with the Giants because I can see this being a 20-17 type of game. I lean under in this one as well. But I like the Giants getting the points here.
And the win. And the outright win?
And an outright win. Yep.
All right. I got it. Dave.
Another divisional home dog.
Who we got?
Yeah. I hate this for 2 reasons. One is I hate to say anything good about the Cowboys. And that's not true. I just don't like to praise them when people that, you know what I'm saying, their heads are too big. I also like to go against Nick and his favorite team, but I'll take a few things here. Daniel Jones to me is Jimmy Garoppolo that can run a little bit. It's pretty much a spot-on comparison, slightly above average quarterback that can run, but he's not going to be a game changer, especially with these Darius Slayton, Paris Campbell, and Isaiah Hodgins. Who, what?
Isaiah Hodgins started playing really well last year. I like him.
Okay, you know them, obviously. I couldn't tell you who the 3 wide receivers are. That just tells you they're bad. But here's the biggest thing about this game. And I'll go to the other receivers and the other quarterback, who Dak Prescott is a better version of Tony Romo when he's healthy, which means he's just a stat fantasy football guy that will never win a game against the Niners in the playoffs. But you have Dak Prescott, you've got CeeDee Lamb, you got Brandon Cooks who came on, and Michael Gallup, who are all above average, and you've got some veterans in there. Here's the problem: the Giants are starting. I think they're starting 2 rookie cornerbacks against the Cowboys. Good luck. I don't think it's a blowout. I think the number's right on. I 100% think the Cowboys win. I hope it's by 1 point so that you can win your bet. But there's no way, even though the line's there, that I could bet on the Giants just knowing about this rookie cornerback thing against these wide receivers. I could be wrong. I think I read it, and I'm trying to pull it up, but that stuck out of my mind. So there it is.
Good point. I agree 100%. But we'll see if they can show up. But I'm gonna take Dallas as well to win the game. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants sneak it out because I'm not a Dallas fan anyway.
I would love for it to happen. I don't care about what I just said. I'd love for the Giants to beat the Cowboys.
Definitely. All right, gentlemen, we have reached the last game, and of course, it's a doozy. We have the Buffalo Bills, Monday Night Football, ladies and gentlemen, going out to the New York Jets. New quarterback Aaron Rodgers. Buffalo's -2.5. Over under is 46. I'm gonna let you guys go first before I do my spiel on this game. So let's start off with Nick. Who you got, buddy? Buffalo and the Jets.
I like the under in this game. I think the under is the best play in this game. I'd probably be on the first half full game. That's probably where I'm going to look to bet. But I also, hopefully, my intentions is to have a couple tickets with Jets plus 8.5 on it with my teasers. I'm hoping to have I'm probably going to have Browns and Jets and Steelers and Jets. I think I'm going to tie a couple teasers to the Jets and hope that this is a low-scoring game that finishes within a field goal. I'm hoping. I think the Jets can win this game outright. I'll take the Jets for the pick 'em here in this spot. This is another divisional home dog. And I know this has no impact on my cap, but it's just a nice little tidbit as well. This game's being played on 9/11, and it's a New York team. So, and we know the history. No, like seriously, the Mets have a good track record. The Yankees have a good track record. The Jets, the Giants, when they do play on those days, have a good track record on it. Just New York teams on 9/11 generally win more. Like I obviously we know why because it's those days, but I'll take the Jets. But my main plays are going to be on the unders in this game.
All righty, Dave, who we got?
Yeah, you already know who I'm taking her. I think this Jets team is going to be good. I think they win the division. I think Aaron Rodgers still has it in him. People want to hate him, but you want to hate him, but everyone wanted him. Everyone would have took him with the arms wide open. Are you kidding me? I love the coach. I love the defense. What wide receiver just went there? That's a big deal. Or was it a running back?
Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook. Okay, yeah. So now you got a quarterback that can throw to. By the way, they don't have nobodies. Garrett
Wilson.
Garrett Wilson, young guy. And what I'm trying to say is, as long as he doesn't roll his eyes when he drops a pass like he did to Christian Watson, but all-time great quarterback, can play with below average receivers. You have one of the best running backs in the league, one of the best defensive coaches in the league, even though he's new, one of the best defenses. And yeah, throw in the 9/11 in New York. Jets cover and win.
I like it. Now, the very exciting thing about this game is that it's Monday Night Football. And we will be on a live stream with Jimmy the Bag. And you know what we do when we on live stream, guys. We make money and we cash tickets. So I'm going to be looking forward to get into this game live. But initially, to pick before game, I'm on the Jets, gentlemen. All the things that y'all said, all the sentimental things that Nick said, because I believe in historical things like 9/11. I believe in all of that because I believe at the end of the day, all this shit is entertainment for the most part. So how are they going to entertain us with this Monday Night Football game? Not to say the Bills aren't a good team. Not to say the Bills can't win this game. But I believe that the Jets are primed to win this game. Now, for the numbers, we already know the Bills, 394 total yards, second in NFL, yards per play, 6th, second in NFL, third downs, 4th at 6 per game, time of possession, 30 minutes, so they keep the ball. Rushing yards, 133, passing yards, 261, averaging 27 points per game. Buffalo's a great team. We already know Josh Allen can put up points. Him and Stephon Diggs have a great chemistry. I like the tight end as well. What's his name?
Dawson Knox.
Dawson Knox. Yes, I had a couple of times I cashed on him as well. He's a nice go-to guy in the red zone for Josh Allen. Josh Allen is 7-2 in his last 9 road games versus the division. That's a great number. He plays well on the road versus the division. I think Buffalo has beaten the Jets, a couple of times consistently as well. Defense allowed 19 points, only giving up 2 touchdowns a game. Now, on the Jets side, we already know they were bottom in pretty much all the statistical categories last year. Second worst in first downs. They only averaged 17. Fourth worst in time of possession, only 28 minutes. They averaged 5 punts a game. Now, I believe Aaron Rodgers will change that. He can get that down to maybe 3 punts a game. I believe that, he can keep the offense consistently moving, get down the field, get a couple field goals out of there here and there. Now, they only rushed for 99 yards last year, what was bottom. They have Dalvin Cook now, so I believe that will improve as well. Passing yards was 219, averaging 37 pass attempts when they fluctuated between those quarterbacks. I believe that can improve. I think Aaron Rodgers can get you maybe 250 yards passing at the most. So 17 points a game, I think that improves as well. I think Aaron Rodgers gets you another touchdown, which makes 24. So I believe the Jets can get to 24 points a game for the most part. Now, history shows the Jets don't play well on the road versus their division. 2-13 versus their division in the last 15 games. So I think Aaron Rodgers changes that as well. New quarterback, new time for the Jets, because I believe that they have the best defense in the NFL. That's just my opinion. They only averaged 1 touchdown a game last year on defense. And they only won, 3? How many games did the Jets win last year? Just throw it out at me. I don't have it off the top of my head.
I don't remember. Let me see. NFC East, AFC East.
Because you're giving up 1 touchdown a game on defense?
7
games. Yeah.
They started off the season really well.
It started off hot as all hell.
Yeah. But like I said, your defense is lights out like that. Aaron Rodgers has no excuses this year, gentlemen. He's going to have to produce. Now, I'm not saying he has to get to the Super Bowl and win it, but as long as he plays, because the defense is young, they're not paying him. So you can stack up on offense the next couple of years if you got to pay some guys to come in, because I believe guys will come in and play if they see this defense.
Well, here's the other thing too, bro. We talk about how many games they won, 7 games. They had a crisis at quarterback.
Yeah.
They had a crisis. Flacco was in there, wasn't he, last year? Or was he the year? Was that the year before?
Mike White.
White was in there. And their running back went down. They had offensive crisis. So now you have one of the best running backs.
7-3. Yeah, it started 7-3, got hurt, and lost 6 in a row at the end of the year.
They started 7-3?
Yeah.
Wow. I did not know that. But yeah,
and did the Giants go to the playoffs last year?
Yeah. Giants.
Okay. Remember there was that poll at that point in time. I think I showed it to you, but it was on YouTube. It said who goes to which New York teams go? The Jets, the Giants, both or neither, and neither won. And the Jets were 7-3.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know they started off that good. But I'm not saying they're going to start off 7-3 this year. They have a little gauntlet. The first 5 games I looked at, it's tough. If they can come out of that 500, 3-3 for the most part, their second half of their season, they can go on a winning streak because they play some not lackluster teams, in my opinion, and like a division. They really only have to worry about Buffalo, in my opinion. I don't think Miami's going to be a threat. I don't think the Patriots are going to be a threat. Like I said, they got a defense, but I don't think the Patriots can put up enough points, to be honest with you. So Aaron Rodgers is coming to a ready-made team. All he needs to do is produce, stop whining, stop rolling your eye at people, be accountable, and let's have a successful run with this team because the defense is going to do their job. They showed you already. They are lights out on defense. Let's see if Aaron Rodgers can put up points.
It's why the under is to play.
Yeah, I agree. I agree to under, but like I said, Aaron Rodgers is a way better quarterback than what they had. He's a Super Bowl quarterback. He already got a Super Bowl. He's MVP. So we see the blueprint. Tampa Bay did it with Brady. Rams did it with Matt Stafford. Let's see if Aaron Rodgers can go to a defense and get them to the Super Bowl. Now, I'm picking them to make the playoffs. I'm going to keep my expectations low because it's the first season. But as long as he plays, he has to get to the Super Bowl. No questions. No excuses. But as far as my pick, I am going to pick the Jets to win this game slightly by a field goal. That's just me. I think Aaron Rodgers gets them down on the field last game, get them in field goal position, kick a field goal, win the game, Jets walk off with the win. That's my prediction. All right, guys, we got through that. So I got everybody's picks down, and like I said, I'm going to play it in my pick 'em, and we'll see who have the best record at the end of the week and see if we can cash out, gentlemen. So appreciate y'all for coming on. Nick, you have any final words, any thoughts you want to tell to people?
No, dogs barking week 1. There we go.
Dogs barking week 1.
Dogs are going to bark.
Tell the guys where they can find you, man. Where they can look you up.
ESB show every single morning, anywhere between 10 and 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on EarleSportsBets channel. That's where you can find me every day.
All righty, man. Of course, I'll be in the chat, putting my picks in, giving my analysis and things like that.
And of course, we have a very special guest on Sunday to break down the NFL card. So I'm excited for Sunday to break down these games, and you can give out props at that time because props will be out and all that.
Oh, yes, I will. You know, I'm a prop god, so I'm definitely going to be on them, and I'm going to be up early Sunday morning. I cannot wait because I got a show before y'all's show. So
wow,
it's
you are
gonna be
a busy man.
Oh yeah, but hey, I love it. I love it. You know, this is what I want to do. Dave, where can the guys find you? Any final thoughts? Any things you want to let the people know?
Yeah, shout out to LJ for having this. I usually don't get too involved with pick'ems. I guess I will be this year. It's kind of screws with my spread. This week was actually easy. Things were really clear on whether a team I thought would cover and win or not cover and win and all that. But anyway, yeah, Picks from Dave on Twitter and on YouTube. We got shows going on Friday night, all day Saturday. Just check out the channel. And yeah. Thanks for watching.
Y'all are some hard-working guys because y'all be on stream Saturday all day.
Yeah. And all night Friday, too.
It's crazy. But, hey, y'all do what y'all do. Y'all love doing it. So, hey, man, kudos to y'all. Yeah. That's the only day I really have off is on Saturdays because I don't do college. But the rest of the week, I'm capping, man. Getting notes. I'm doing my knowledge, my research because football is back. Baseball is still going on right now. And, hey, the NBA is right around the corner. Next month, training camp. So, hey, man, it's time to get paid, guys. So, like I said, thank y'all once again, coming on. I will be on Nerd Talk, but I will be on late because I'm going to go to a high school football game with my dad. Cool. But I will jump on as soon as I get home. So,
no problem.
All right, guys. Till then, RaWordz Podcast, LJ from Houston, Nick, EarleSportsBets, Picks from Dave, Nerd Talk. Y'all follow those guys on Twitter. Go to their shows on YouTube right now. Subscribe. To tap in, guys, because if y'all not tapped in, y'all not watching our shows, y'all are missing money. I'm telling you, man, this is the time for y'all to get on. Let's get on this money train. So, till then, RaWordz Podcast, LJ from Houston, and we are out.
Yeah, R-A-W, words being served, no concern and no trouble to get that dough. Money on my mind, if it's money all the time, we be pumping on the grind. If it's LJ from Houston, pulling up stats, you'll be pulling in stacks, hitting bookies from the back with no Vaseline. I need green and upsea quantities for a fiend, save the dreams for a game. This is H-Town, home of the lean ass.